Witajcie ponownie in this, I was going to say exciting, but it's pretty laid back. This is going to be a slow build of the 286, and the story of how it took me 5 hours to format a single floppy drive. Go me. Oh, check that out. That's looking pretty good. Everything fit nicely in there. I guess that's panel gap from the era. Everything looks good. So we got B drive is working. Let's set it up and see what we can do with it. Okay, so I'll figure out how to use idling later, I suppose, if I feel like it. And let's reboot it. I like how there's no reset switch in here. It's like, you're not going to need a reset switch, bro. This thing will never break. Perfect. So a nice prompt tells you what version it is. Let's explore it a little further. Let's put that over here so it's directly in front of me. We're off to a good start here. Let's try our luck with sysinfo. I could get used to this keyboard on a daily basis. Alright, I think that drive needs a bit of cleaning. Let's format A. B, and put something from the A drive on it, which I actually already moved off camera, so there's no need to do that. What is this? What is it reading it as? Does DOS 3.3 support 720K disks? I will be back with the answer. Alright, so there is an actual command for this that differs from the /F:720. It is, let's give it a shot here. It's the number of sectors per track. So N not at 9, and then tracks per side. T:80. I have another idea. Perhaps the drive is not set up correctly. Yeah, double-sided, double density 720K. Double check. Okay. Why is it only seeing it as that? That is weird. Oh, we got something. Check out that PC sound. You want to play against the computer? Yes. And I'm not. I'm a male. Female. Yeah, license plate actually. Donna. finger. A log cabin. Yeah, cabin. Graphics are amazing. No burn in it all on the screen. Fever. Only cure is more cowbell. Cabin fever. Okay. Oh, I have to type that whole thing in. Nice. Alright. Okay. Interesting. I got $100. That was like $200 back then. Alright, I'm gonna control C this. We know at least a game works. Break. Let's gotta get out of these old programs. Where's the break key? Escape? Oh, terminate batch job. Yes. Alright, that is disgusting. Okay, let's go back to mode 80. Oh, it didn't know what that meant. Okay, I crashed it. See the hard drive light's just on. What's mode 80? Wow. I gotta brush up on my DOS 3.3. Alright, since none of that worked, except for one game, we're gonna put DOS 4 on it. Maybe that'll fix my floppy problem. So we have a totally legit copy with nice printing on it of DOS 4. Unfortunately, it's not 4.01. I believe we have to put in the install disk first and restart. I have not tested this process. I know that the install disk boots. That is all. I am still getting used to this keyboard. Alright, insert select disk. Yes, I read about this. This is not an installer, but it uses the select command to bring the DOS to you, the menu system. And we could do a lot of diskette swapping. Welcome to the 80s with an appropriate 10 megabyte hard drive. Wow, this requires patience. I almost just hit reset there. This is the thing you gotta realize. This stuff takes time. These computers are not fast, even back then. What do we want to do? You need one blank diskette program workspace. What do we have here? 5 diskettes, 360K each. They're probably packed, so let's say 402 megs. Yeah, well, I don't know. One says DOS shell on it. I want DOS shell. We'll do the balance, I guess. United States, predefined keyboard. None. Sure, why the hell not? Z. DOS. All DOS files. How many printers do you have? 0. Install the DOS shell. Good, cool. That is useful. Yes, I hope it doesn't overwrite my auto exec. Make a copy of your install diskette. During installation, to fix this, select requires information to a diskette for later use in the installation process. Every blank diskette labeled select copy, ready for this purpose. Okay. Guess whatever's on here is just going to get erased. Hang on, it looks like it is formatting the hard drive. Well, shit. I guess I can't play all those games anyway, so... But loading them took so much time. You know what? If that's going to be the case, this drive's 10 megs. I think I can back the whole thing up onto like 6 diskettes of 1.44. So I'll just throw a 1.44 drive in here temporarily and load everything on that way, because I'm not going to sit through these. They're slow and annoying. bloody thing is formatting my hard drive. It doesn't even tell you what it's gonna do. Like, it's just like, dude, I'm installing. Get out. Oh, you know what? Well, it's formatting. I guess I could just sit here and just take these off. Okay. You know what? That's another thing I remember having to do when I was a kid. Stuff around me. I brought stuff that needed to be done while stuff loaded. I mean, and I started with the 386 one. What is this? This is the select disk, I think, yeah. I needed to do something around me while the computer was, I wouldn't say booting, but it was, sometimes it took time to do stuff. Alright, fast open, install. Oh, 4.01! Oh, well, then that's alright. Okay. Alright, I think 4.01 is not a bad one. Okay. So, what the hell is this? Change colors? Okay. Well, why don't you go to hell? Oh, sweet. Yeah, I took everything out. Okay, cool. You know what? Read the bloody drive this time, because I have the utilities on there. It should say that one's been formatted. Good. So, one of these has some diagnostics on it. I think it's that one. Alright, this one has check it. Why don't we see if we can run it right out of the shell? Checkit.exe. Oh, nice. No, I don't want any. Oh, like switches? No, just run it. That doesn't sound good. Okay. Nothing is found, okay. What? I wonder what it will do. Ooh, that's jumping ahead way too quickly to be a 720K diskette. Okay, it's formatting like every third track or something. I'm going to let it do its thing. 102%. Okay. Did everybody catch that? No. Format B. I wonder if this command just make it part of DOS yet. What? The anger grows. Alright, Peter Norton. You tell me how to format this drive. maybe there's something wrong with the drive? The jumper fell out or something? Okay, so I think that this BIOS just doesn't support the 3.5 inch diskettes, so I'm going to use this very professional knife and pry these BIOS chips out. And I have a couple here that I have actually tried in this machine, and they did work. They changed the BIOS greeting to Everex 386. That's a great, or sorry, 286 or something like that. That's the only thing it did, but it's it might be a newer BIOS, and it might just work here. Do this ever so carefully. There we go. Proper way to take a chip out. So that's these were labeled high and low, and these were labeled odd and even. But if I recall correctly, they have numbers on the back 2 and 4. So that is slot 2. So we will put this new BIOS chip in here. Let's go back into G setup. I don't know how much of the screen you can see from here. Let me adjust that a bit there. Sorry, I'm in the way. I didn't really think about this. It's 11:30. I'm just like, this might work. Just making a post on Vogons about it, and I thought to myself, why not try the other BIOS chips? So let's do that. The OS clearly didn't work. Bloody hell. Alright. I don't know if these are any good. No. You know what we're going to do instead? We're going to just run the program off of it. Bloody hell. Well, that didn't work. Okay, this I don't understand. High density floppy in the B. Not only does it read it, it'll actually run a file off of it. Something wrong with the drive? I don't know. Now I'm clueless now. Alright, so we have 286 at 8 megahertz, one wait state. Oh, that's a ton of memory there. We have 1.5 megs free out of 34 megs. Not even possible. It's seeing it as a 1.2 meg. Which, I wonder what it will do when I format it. Okay. This is getting weird. Alright, so here's a high density 1.44. I know it's got stuff. Okay, let's do something simple. Let's do MSD. Aha, yeah, that's what I thought. So it's seeing it as a. I don't even know what's going on here. Let's put another one in. Stop! Wasting your time, like I did. So it took me about 5 hours to get to this point, maybe 4, maybe 6, I'm not entirely sure. However, as you've seen, if you've if you're still with us. If you're not, if you're skipping to this point from the video, I will explain to you what's happened so far. Disks get read. The different ones get swapped in. You can read the directory listing. The second you run a program on the disk, it's sector not found. So I just took the drive out of the computer, and let's have a look at how it failed. Welcome to the infamous drive. This is a 720K OSDA 39C by Citizen double density drive, which will read diskettes, directory structures, but will do nothing else with them. So basically, when I first got the drive, I tested it, it worked, I stuck it in my parts bin, and at some point, I'm not sure if, I didn't really use it a lot, actually I only used it once to test it. I noticed there was this crease there, and then you can see this black mark on the cover plate, and that translates to a black mark on the top of the first head. So I immediately thought that's where the problem was. Took some alcohol swabs to both heads, popped this up a little bit, cleaned it, and then I started to do my eyeball alignment, just kind of like taking it all the way back and then moving it, tightening it down slightly, DIR, nothing. No, it doesn't matter. Anything I did to his head did change nothing. So there are two cables here that connect both heads to the controller board. So I took them both out like this. I'm gonna leave them out because it doesn't matter anyways. Yes, and then I ran a directory structure, or I put a disk in and it said not ready. So I put the bottom one back in, and I did DIR. It accepted the disk. It showed a directory listing, and okay, so presumably that's good. Then I plugged the other one back in, no change at all. So I tried to clean. I took the head apart, cleaned it, tried my luck with aligning it again. The head itself must be dead. Actually, I took them both apart and I took a multimeter to them. I don't have the data sheet for this, but the resistance meters, the resistance was different between the two. I am not an expert on heads, but I would assume that they would be the same. Maybe not. All I know is the top head is dead. And I learned today that all the data for the directory structure of a diskette is stored on the outer tracks of the disk. So where are we now? I've made some notes. So I've decided to keep the 1.44 meg drive in there. There are some interesting challenges along the way, namely that the BIOS didn't natively support a 3.5 inch format at all. So you may be wondering, well, how can that be? We saw you put into gsetup the correct parameters. What's up with that? So what I'm thinking is happening here is that the G in gsetup stands for generic, not particularly attributed to any one particular drive. One size fits all approach. So if you give it garbage in, it's going to give you garbage out. What ended up happening that I found was interesting, that if I had the 1.44 meg drive installed and BIOS had it as a 1.2 meg drive, it read 720K diskettes and was able to read from them without any problems whatsoever. You couldn't format anything at all. Now, what I think is causing that is the cluster allocation unit file size and the file allocation table were the same for 1.2 meg drives and 1.4 meg drives, as you can see here. So either way, two things took me down this path. One, the drive was labeled as being good. And it was good at one point, but now it's not so good anymore. And the second thing was the fact that it was formatting in a 180K format, which led me to believe that, hey, the formatting is happening, just the BIOS supports, it's an 8T from 1986. It's not unheard of that it would have supported the 180K format standard in BIOS. And gsetup had not seen it. So basically, those two things threw me a curveball. And in the end, the only way to properly diagnose it was to take apart the drive and pull out the actual heads and see, what was going on in there. What would have mitigated this would have been if I had a 720K drive lying around, or if I had taken this drive and put it into another computer. Well, you live, you learn. That's why you're watching this channel. So in the next channel, I will actually show you In the next series, I will actually show you how I've made a 1.44 drive work completely, format, read and write, with that 286. So stick around for part 3.